Hi, welcome back to my channel. Like many people, I was very excited when Don't Worry Darling was announced. Florence Pugh is phenomenal. I like Chris Pine. Harry Styles is a big draw. That whole cast is pretty studded with stars. Olivia Wilde is also directing, and she directed Booksmart, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'd say maybe most importantly, the trailer reveals enough without revealing too much, which is just so rare nowadays. That's my big issue with the Nope trailers. The first one goes, okay guys, Jordan Peele made another movie. If you like the first two, you'll probably like this one. He's very good at making movies. Here's some imagery, get your mind wandering, maybe come see the movie when it comes out to find out what it's all about. Perfect trailer. The second trailer goes, in the movie Nope, there's a big alien, and a guy who works at the Fry's electronics store in Burbank sets up cameras to try and get footage of the big alien, and Steven Yeun is there, and there's a brother and sister who are also trying to get a shot of the big alien. So will they do that, or will they meet their eternal doom? And I did not want to know all that. I wanted to find out in the movie. We're at the point now where if they just put out a still image that said, Jordan Peele made another movie, it comes out on this date, I'd see the movie. I trust him enough to do that. Anyway, Don't Worry Darling has a lot going for it, and it seems like a pretty safe bet for a non-franchise film. But now, as we approach the release date of the movie, everyone seems to be talking about everything but the movie. Except for that one clip of Harry Styles where he uses like 10 accents in 30 seconds.
Everyone gets this opportunity. And if you keep talking like this, you're going to put it all at risk.
Hey man, Harry to Harry, not everyone gets this opportunity. And if you keep talking like this, you're going to put it all at risk.
Our life. Alice, our life together.
Really unfair putting him next to Academy Award nominee Florence Pugh for his first leading role. Originally, the movie was going to star Shia LaBeouf and Florence Pugh as Don't Worry and Darling, respectively. Pretty early on, Harry Styles replaced Shia LaBeouf due to scheduling conflicts, the cop-out of all cop-outs that is sometimes true. Though recently, in a profile with Variety, Olivia Wilde said that she in fact fired LaBeouf. Quote, his process was not conducive to the ethos that I demand in my productions. He has a process that, in some ways, seems to require a combative energy, and I don't personally believe that is conducive to the best performances. Fair enough. In the same interview, she talked about how important Florence Pugh was to the movie. Quote, I knew that I was going to be asking Florence to be in some very vulnerable situations, and my priority was making her feel safe and making her feel supported. A few days later, Shia LaBeouf said that he was not in fact fired, but that he quit the movie. And then a third source says that it was more of a mutual understanding that his style of acting and her style of directing were just not very compatible. But in Shia's response, he includes a video and texts and emails which show Olivia Wilde trying to keep him on the movie, which doesn't really line up with her firing him because of his process, and also leaves questions about how much she really was supporting Florence Pugh. The sheer number of conversations where Olivia is trying to keep Shia on the project makes it seem odd that she would turn around and fire him early on. Maybe she got a bad case of buyer's remorse. And in the video, she refers to Florence Pugh as Miss Flo.
Shia, I just went riding my horse, very sweaty, but I wanted to reach out because I feel like I'm not ready to give up on this yet, and I too am heartbroken, and I want to figure this out. And you know, I think this might be a bit of a wake-up call for Miss Flo, and I want to know if you're open to giving this a shot with me, with us. If she really commits, if she really puts her mind and heart into it at this point, and if you guys can make peace, and I respect your point of view, I respect hers, but if you guys can do it, what do you think? Is there hope? Is there hope? Will you let me know? Okay, bye.
Which one? That's not Miss Flo. This is Miss Flo. And two, so condescending. It seems like she's treating Florence Pugh as the problem for not wanting to work with an abuser. Even before FKA Twigs came out and talked about their abusive relationship, the two of them are going to court for a sexual battery lawsuit against Shia LaBeouf. And Shia has said, I hurt that woman in reference to the person who's suing him for sexual battery, so I think there's something there. But even before that, I don't think anyone could look at Shia LaBeouf and go, yeah, no, he seems like the epitome of tranquility and a supportive working environment.
You know, we were going to do a cutaway to Shia LaBeouf, but he isn't here tonight as well.
Yeah, we wrote a joke about how Shia LaBeouf was arrested at his own art installation, but then he got arrested at his own art installation again.
Yes.
It would be a very different movie if he was the male lead. As part of the Variety interview, Wilde said, and then this is the quote,
"We needed whoever was going to play Jack to be instantly lovable and someone who was deeply charming and empathetic."
and I just don't know that that's Shia LaBeouf. Maybe a decade ago, but I don't think anybody saw Honey Boy and went, oh yeah, this guy is instantly lovable, deeply charming, and empathetic. All of this has helped fuel an ongoing Cold War between Wilde and Pugh that Wilde seems desperate to make as visible as possible. Florence has not posted about the movie very much, and she didn't hit like on a couple of Olivia Wilde's posts about the movie. I don't read into that too much. It's like that headline that reads, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle didn't publicly wish Prince Charles a happy birthday. It's possible that Harry chose to wish his father a happy birthday privately. When Olivia posted a picture praising Pugh and Florence Pugh posted a picture about a different movie, maybe that's just a coincidence.
Well, that's the funny thing about coincidences, ain't it? Sometimes they just happen.
Jason, wait your turn, I'll get to you. Maybe it wasn't. People have said that she was contractually obligated to post that picture, so I'm inclined to think that it was just very funny timing. They've also been interviewed about the movie, believe it or not, and they've said wildly different things about it. With Olivia talking a lot about the sex scenes and how they focus on female pleasure, which isn't something that's typically shown in media, while Florence Pugh has said that the marketing focuses too much on the sex scenes and there's other stuff that she wants to talk about. And in all of it, Olivia makes sure that she praises Pugh's performance. I can't do another P alliteration. And in all of it, Olivia makes sure to talk about how much she enjoyed working with Florence and how great of an actress she is, which is not a red flag at all. I would be concerned if Jordan Peele had nothing nice to say about Keke Palmer, or if Sean Anders had nothing nice to say about Mel Gibson. It's when you couple the lavish praise with the fact that Florence Pugh really hasn't had much to say about Olivia, like at all. On top of that, Florence Pugh's only going to be making one press appearance for this movie. Part of that is she's busy filming Dune 2. But just one? One appearance for something this big? What are you, my dad? It's a little joke. I don't actually think it's a bad thing that she's making one appearance. And I'll admit, when this story was just beginning, before I even knew that Shia LaBeouf was in the movie at some point, I thought it might be a marketing stunt. Like with any other movie or TV show with big names, I'm always skeptical of a little beef. You call someone out, you throw a little shade, you go back and forth, you squash the beef, everyone's talking about your project, the world keeps on turning. And because of how much it seems like Olivia Wilde wants people to know that something is up between her and Florence Pugh, I thought that this whole thing might have been orchestrated. Again, Florence Pugh is shooting Dune 2 and wouldn't be able to do a lot of press, and both that and Don't Worry Darling are Warner Brothers movies, so they knew beforehand that she wouldn't be able to do a lot of press. Maybe they came up with this so this could be the press. Plus, I think that Florence and Olivia's character might be at odds with each other in the movie. I haven't seen it yet because, and this is true, the movie is not out yet. But it seems like their characters are on opposite sides of the conflict, so you make real life like the movie, maybe? I don't know. But I don't think it is, in part because of the content of the discussion, but mostly because Warner Brothers only has enough money to release 2 more movies this year, so they kind of need both of them to be successful. I think their marketing strategy with Black Adam is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And that has yet to be ineffective. So then for Don't Worry Darling, I find it hard to believe that their ideal strategy would be to manufacture a beef between the lead and the director so that people would then want to see the art that they made collaboratively. It was a stupid idea from the start, okay? I just don't see this as marketing. I mean, the interviews are marketing, but so all the pieces are there to say that at the beginning of production, the director of the movie threw their female lead under the bus in order to try and assuage the feelings of the abusive male lead of the movie. Right? That's not the kind of thing that's totally unheard of in Hollywood. It is unfortunate how many examples come to mind. But then to turn around and say that you were on the side of the female lead the whole time, not a good look. And I think that's the kicker. This whole thing is exacerbated by who Olivia Wilde is. She's a woman, which means that some people will just go after her. And she's outspoken about her feminist beliefs, which means that some people will just go after her. And being outward about those liberal beliefs, or even just being perceived as liberal, means that people on the left are more likely to say something when you do something that seems to go against those beliefs. It's the same reason that people were so upset with John Mulaney when he brought out Dave Chappelle. If you brand yourself as someone with liberal beliefs, or even just keep up public perception that you have liberal beliefs, people will hold you to those beliefs or whatever the perception is of your beliefs. Plus, she's dating Harry Styles, lucky her, but it means that some people will be looking for an excuse to say something mean about her. I'm not going to explain what a Larry is in this video. Mom, if you want to know, you could just text me. We'll talk about it later. And then some people will use those people as a monolith for anyone who criticizes Olivia Wilde, which is not true. And Olivia and Harry started their relationship when she was still married to Jason Sudeikis, who through SNL and into Ted Lasso has presented himself as a very genuine, honest, nice guy. And it sucks when a genuine, honest, nice person gets cheated on. It's natural to be upset about that, but we don't actually know what's happened in their relationship, other than the things that have happened in public, like her being served divorce papers when she was talking about what else. Don't worry, darling. Whether or not it's true, public perception is that he's the good guy, which means that whenever she does something wrong, people are going to jump on her. Hollywood is always trying to revitalize some former star's career, and it's clear that Shia is putting together his comeback campaign now rather than when he's in court. And the executives are cool with it. Look at the text between Shia LaBeouf and the Warner Brothers guy. Now's the time to get public opinion up. He started talking about how he's found God, classic stuff. Maybe I'm just cynical, and perhaps he has actually found faith at this critical juncture. But an abuser finding solace in the Catholic Church seems a little too on the nose. Maybe they work so well together because they have a shared history. More importantly than any of this, why is there no comma in the title of the movie? Is it a typo that they just left in? Is it because, like the rest of the movie, something's a little bit off? Is it an instruction from a transatlantic person telling me not to cause the person known as Darling to worry? You can worry Flapjack all you want, but don't you dare worry Darling, or we'll be worse off than a pony with a bum leg. Okay, but actually, I feel bad for Florence Pugh for a myriad of reasons. And I'm glad that she was not forced to do a whole movie with someone who clearly she was not comfortable with. I feel bad for Harry Styles because he has to be an actor next to Florence Pugh. Did you know that in South Pacific, the male lead was cast as this big opera star, and the female lead did not want to sing with him because he was this big-time opera star. So in the musical, the two romantic leads almost never sing together. Unfortunately for Harry Styles, he has to talk to Florence Pugh in this movie. They can't do some shenanigans like that. And I feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for Shia LaBeouf, and I probably would not go see this movie if he was in it. And I don't really feel bad for Olivia Wilde either, but in a wildly different way from Shia. It seems to me like she's embodied a little bit the true spirit of a girl boss, kicking ass, taking names, upholding existing power structures, but she's at the top this time, so it's different. And it is a little different. Wanting Shia LaBeouf in your movie right now means something different than wanting him 2.5 years ago, which means something different than wanting him in your movie 2.5 years before that. She outwardly projects as someone very caring about her actors, especially the women, because that's where her experience lies in the industry, and she wants them to have a better time than she did. It's a very noble goal and one that I think everyone should have, and I'm sure some of it is true, because if it was all a farce, I'm sure it would have been outed by now. A lot of her actions match her words. But it's something that clearly she doesn't always live up to. And she's being a little dogpiled on right now for it. Amsterdam comes out later this year with a similarly star-studded cast. And the director of that movie has a Wikipedia page with a section for controversies dating back to 1998. That's before I was alive. Calling out bad behavior, always good. No matter who it comes from, I'm never going to oppose that. But I'm also interested in calling out the people who've been in power for my entire lifetime when they do bad shit like that. What's the name of this director? David O. Russell? Fuck David O. Russell. I'm not gonna watch Amsterdam in the theater. I probably will see Don't Worry Darling though, because Florence Pugh's great. And she deserves all the hype, for real. She's the real deal. If you haven't seen her other movies, you should do that, because she's very good in them. Little Women, Laurie, you're being mean. That's a good line. And I'm not saying you can't criticize two people at the same time. I'm criticizing people all the time. It just seems to me that, like, when bad behavior like this comes up, even if they're not the ones actually perpetuating it, the women who are adjacent to it are always called out more than the men. And that's bullshit. Anyway, thanks for watching this very happy and uplifting video. If you enjoyed this video and you wouldn't mind leaving a like or subscribing, I would really appreciate that. 3 videos September. I promise. I don't promise. 3 videos September. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. It really does mean a lot to me. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.